Anyways, so we back with this look. I'm gonna reveal the look in a second, but this lip is already giving me life. You know, I got the little bougie jacket on. Let me zoom you out. Let me zoom. I said out. I got the little bougie jacket on. You know, I'm rocking my little fall summers, the little fall hater blockers. Because by now, it's fall, baby. It's fall, baby. It's fall. If you don't know, then you should know now that fall is one of my favorite seasons. I love fall. I love spring. I love spring because I'm a spring baby. But fall, the weather is popping. The fashion is popping. My lip is popping. So if you want to know how I got this look, stay tuned. But I'm gonna let my sis Megan, who told us to have a hot girl semester, let us take us into the video, okay? Okay.
On the team, he put in all that work, he wanna be the MVP. I told him ain't no taming me, I love my niggas equally. Fucking 9 to 5 niggas with that superstar thing.
Wait, hold up, I'm finna turn it. Wait, hold up, I'm finna turn it.
Okay, so here I am. I'm just dancing. The first thing I do after I wash my face is tone with the Thayer's Rosewater toner. I ran out. That was actually a part of my September favorites. I didn't film one, but I feel like I should. So here I am just toning and being cute and dancing to music. I was listening to Money by Cardi B, if you could not tell. And then I like to use my Drunk Elephant moisturizer, and I just put that on my face because that was the moisturizer that I had at the time, but I bought a new one. And I will be sharing that with you guys in my next favorites video. Then the next step of my journey was to fill in my brows using the NYX brow pencil. I don't know what shade this is in. I think it's in Ebony, but I don't know. So I'm just filling in my brows here, doing that real quick, and then I will be back. Okay, so here I'm covering out my brows with the Makeup Revolution concealer in C13. That is the concealer that I use to highlight as well. I think I did show it, but I just didn't say it. So that was the concealer that I'm using to cover my brows. I'm also placing the concealer on my lids as well to prime for my eyeshadow. This is a very bold fall glam look, so I want to make sure that I have an even skin tone on my eyes, so that way all of the shadow comes out really nice. And we're just carving up, cleaning up the brows. Well, the first cleanup. I like to go back in. Right now I'm just buffing out the concealer that I put on my brows and on my lids with a concealer brush from the Jaclyn Hill set. That's my favorite brush set. I use it for everything. And I just buffed that all over my face. And now I'm just going back in with my brow pencil and just brushing out my brows so that way they're not too thick and not too opaque. And I'm just buffing out the concealer one more time. Now I'm taking the Morphe 35O palette. It is an oldie but a goodie. And I'm going in with my Jaclyn Hill brushes. And I'm using this really nice orangey shade. And I'm going to just put that all over my lid on the crease area. Guys, I'm so rusty at this. I have not voiced over in a long time, so bear with me. Now I'm just blending that out in my crease area, trying to make sure that it's seamless, so when I add the next couple of colors, it goes well together. After this orange, I am going to take my Jaclyn Hill and Morphe palette. And I'm using those two colors that I pointed to. I will put them in the description box. I do not have the palettes with me, so I can't say what they are. And I'm kind of just putting it on the outer corner to build up and give it a more rustic fall look with like a purple and a burgundy-ish shade to kind of add like the different dimensions of fall that you would see like in the trees. And I'm just going to buff that out and keep blending it in until those colors and the orange mesh together well. And I'm just going to keep going back and forth, back and forth. So here I'm taking the color, I think that is Rockstar, and I'm putting that more further into the eye and more like focused in the crease instead of above the crease to kind of give that nice dimensional look. So I'm just really buffing it all together, making sure that all the colors blend. It's going to look a little rough. I took another brush to blend everything together so that way it doesn't look so crazy. I definitely said the wrong shade color, so I'm going to put it in the description box. Again, I'm going to list all the colors that I used in this video. Here I am just carving out my crease again with the C13 by Makeup Revolution, and I'm just carving out the crease, getting it as perfect as I want so that way I can add my black shade, which that is the color Rockstar from the Morphe and Jaclyn Hill palettes, excuse me. And I'm now taking my Prep and Prime by MAC and I'm spraying it and I'm dipping into Rockstar and I'm putting that all over it. So it did not give me the glittery look that I wanted. So you can honestly just take any black shadow or even a black eyeliner and give it a more pigmented look here. But I wanted something that was smoky but subtle at the same time. Or as Jaclyn Hill would say, how her clients always ask for smoky but natural. So that's what I was doing and I just went with that. And I just build up that color as much as I could. You can see me just continuously going back in and building up the color, building it up more and more and more to get the darkness that I really truly want. And I'm just going to be doing that for the next couple of clips. So here I am just going back in with the colors that I used in my crease so that way they don't get lost under the black, because the black can be overwhelming and then you won't get the true beauty of all of the other colors that we put to add dimension into the look. So I'm just going back and forth and just adding the orange back in, the purples, the burgundy, the browns, and I'm going back in and filling in my brow again because my left brow was looking a little sparse compared to my right, and that's just naturally because my right brow is more full than my left. So now I'm going back in. You see me just jumping around a lot trying to get the eyes perfected, and now I'm buffing it out so that way everything is melted together instead of looking all choppy and chalky and shady. And yeah, and we're just gonna keep on doing that. Here I went back into my Jaclyn Hill palette and I added the color Bling Bling in the inner corner to give my eyes a nice big pop. And then I took some Milk of Magnesia and I went in my T-zone with that to block up my pores so that way I do not get oily through this look. I have really big pores in my T-zone and I get very oily there because I do have combination skin. So I do like to use Milk of Magnesia instead of a regular primer in all of the areas that I really get oily in. Some people say that this does mess up your texture, but it doesn't. Here I am using some Glitz Co lashes and I'm using the Big Monster Lancome mascara to prime my lashes, my natural lashes for my falsies that I'm gonna put on. Shout out to my friend Simone who runs the Glitz Co. I love her lashes. These are in the style, I can't remember what style they're in, so I think they're in the style Glitz actually. So I will link it below and I will put her website in the bottom. And I'm using my Anastasia stick foundation in the color Ebony, and this foundation is very orange on me, but it's okay because my concealer is very yellow, so it will cancel out and give me the perfect color. I do have a weird undertone. I can never figure out if I'm cool or warm, so I kind of go with what I find or what I have and I just make it work for myself. So honestly, it's a little hard to buff out my makeup on top of Milk of Magnesia because it is a little flaky and it is a little thick. So you just have to really buff and like make sure you go back over certain parts. Like on the nose, you have to really get in there and make sure that you covered every part of the Milk of Magnesia. I'm sorry for the lighting. I kept putting the mirror in the way. I love getting up. and getting stuff. So right now I'm just pressing in everything with a sponge. That just gives me the more seamless look and make sure that none of that milk of magnesia is poking through. And surprisingly, my makeup does not flake off. So here I am taking the C13 foundation concealer, and I'm taking it in the same places that I primed, and I pulled it up further so that way it can give my eye look a more clean finish. And I'm just blending everything out. And if you hear some noise in the background, my grandparents just got home, so here I am just blending out my concealer and all the places that I concealed, and now you see it's giving me a nice clean sharp finish on my eyeshadow, which is why I brought the concealer up so high. And I just wanted to give a more like seamless clean look on everything. And I'm just doing the other side and just making sure everything is pressed out and blended out really nicely so I don't have any like shadow. Then I'm taking the ColourPop Finishing Pro Filter powder in the color Medium Deep, and I'm going to just take the same sponge that I used to blend everything out and press it into my skin. I do not like to bake. I like to just press my powder into my skin. It makes it last even longer than normal, and it does not make me get as oily as fast. I'm just pressing it in, going over all the places that I concealed to make sure that everything is pressed in nicely and does not make me look too cakey or chalky. And just, you know, blending and blending. Here I'm just taking the same colors that I put in my crease and my outer corner of my eye, and I'm just blending it under my eye to finish up the look and make sure that the look looks complete. Once I add my lashes, throughout all of this process my lash glue has been drying so that way it can get the best tacky hold. And as you see me applying my lashes right now, they are very big, they're very bold. These are 25mm lashes, so they are looking like they're gonna make me fly away. I only used this lash because I wanted an extremely like glam look, and I kind of wish I used a smaller lash, but then again, who knows. I'm sorry that you cannot see this. I'm just trying to adhere the lashes properly. Matter of fact, again, you just see me moving, and now I'm about to just throw on the other lash, and I'm gonna try and be better at doing this on camera. I'm holding the mirror a little bit lower and I'm just using my fingers. I like to use both methods. I like to use the tweezers to kind of just get the lashes to sit perfectly on the lash line. I like to just use my fingers to melt the lashes together and marry them with my lashes. So now I'm going back in again, finishing up my under eye shadow and just fixing the lashes, tweaking them so that way they're sitting properly on my face. I'm just going in and doing that. So once I finished my under eye, I went and I just tweaked my hair. I wanted to make sure everything was perfect. And I'm taking the Fenty Beauty, the Mocha Mommy bronzer, and I'm just bronzing up my skin because I have no color right now. Like, I'm all one tone. And I realized that when I forget to put bronzer on, I look so matte and flat. And I don't like to contour heavy, so I like to just use my bronzer and bring some color back to my skin. And you see, I kind of have like a natural inner glow from that foundation. It wasn't the mattest, so I'm glowing a little bit. And here is the finished product. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will add all of the things that I added in the description, my highlighter, my lip. I just didn't want to show it because it's discontinued.